today we'll be doing a review of Arslan Senki Season 2.
Right, Arslan Senki, a very popular anime that came out, it came out a couple years ago?
The original?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Arslan Senki, the original, came out in 2015, and this new season obviously just finished, and it's the story of Arslan, a prince who gets his kingdom sort of overthrown and pulled out from under him.
Yeah, so Season 1, for those who are unfamiliar with it, is this is all based on, I think, a novel from like the 80s or something like that. Yeah, 1986 was The Heroic Legend of Arslan, was a Japanese fantasy novel. And so this boy is the prince of a kingdom, and at the very beginning of the
Pars, right?
Yes.
Pars.
And at the very beginning of the first season, his kingdom kind of gets attacked, and his father is captured. And so throughout the season, he is trying to rebuild the empire. And you kind of see him reach a certain level of success at the end of the first season, which was like 24 episodes or something like that. This one is a lot shorter. This one's only 8 episodes. It came out in July of 2016. And it's called Arslan Senki Fuujin Ranbu.
Fuujin Ranbu.
Which I believe means something to the effect of Dust Storm Dance.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense when you think about the last episode.
So we really liked the first season of Arslan Senki. It was action-packed. The pacing was interesting. It's always nice when you have some political intrigue in these types of shows.
It's a show that we don't get to see a lot of. You know, every season, as we've often discussed, there's 20 different shows about a kid in a school club, you know, and they need one more member to...
Right.
We've seen that a million times.
Yep, and there are more this next season.
Right, of course. But a show like Arslan Senki, there are certainly others somewhat like it, like as far as fantasy worlds and that kind of thing, but it's not as common. And generally, when we do see it, it's done pretty well. And I think we all agreed that for the first season of Arslan Senki, it was done very well, and we really enjoyed it. There was a lot of world building.
Yep.
There was a ton of characters and countries, and they're traveling, and you're seeing all these different...
killing people.
Yeah, you know, killing people. But it was cool because it was such a realized world, and that may be just because it was based on this novel, you know, that already had created this world, so it was easy for them to just go in and take those characters and those places. But I know one of the reasons why we really enjoyed the first season was because of just how fleshed out it was and how enjoyable it was to be in that world.
I just like the seriousness of it. You know, at this point, I want something serious. I really enjoyed sort of the military tactical aspect of the show.
Definitely.
A lot of really cool moments like that, like when Daryun is fighting in that fire ring. It reminded me of some like Game of Thrones shit going down.
Yeah.
And it was just overall really, really exciting. And so, of course, I was really looking forward to seeing the second season of this show because, you know, they really hadn't even come close to resolving the issue, which I guess would be Arslan taking back his kingdom and becoming the ruler of it.
Right. And so as the second season begins, Arslan has captured a certain area. I don't remember. It's hard to keep track sometimes. Like if you're not someone who's very good with memorizing names and places like myself, it's difficult to be like, okay, hold on, where are they now? Who is this guy? Just because there's so much. It's a world, you know. There's so much going on.
Well, let's be clear. It's been over a year,
right,
since the last one. So,
but yeah, so it starts off. Arslan has taken over a certain castle, and really right at the very beginning of the show. Well, first off, they're attacked. You know, there's always battles going on. Someone's always attacking somebody else, and then it's up to Arslan and his crew to outsmart them and, you know, counter them and expand their numbers and that kind of thing. So the show starts off with the battle, but really in the first couple episodes, the big event that takes place at the very beginning, which isn't really much of a spoiler because this is like episode 2.
The city's called Ekbatana.
Okay.
By the way.
Thanks. The big thing that happens right at the very beginning is that Arslan's father, who was previously captured, escapes. He manages to break out and escape and make his way to Ekbatana, where Arslan is currently sitting on the throne as the acting king.
Not very realistic, by the way. What did he say? Something like soup and sweat can rot chains or something?
Yeah.
So this man
He
who's
like broke through his chains because he had been slowly rotting them away with his sweat. And then he kills the guards and grabs the king or whatever.
I love how I've like a year after he's been chained in a dungeon, he's
super jacked.
Super jacked, which he would be a tiny stick
Yeah.
by then, and
That
he
was a
would
little
never be able
far-fetched.
to. Yeah, no shit.
But
It's like, yeah, in your food, we've been giving you HGH all along.
yeah, he was crazy jacked. But so he escapes and makes his way to Ekbatana, where Arslan is sitting on the throne. And much to everyone's chagrin, he, in essence, charges Arslan with kind of I forget the exact word for it, but
A ridiculous. And basically, they call it an exiling.
right,
Because he'd never be able to continue to complete it.
He exiles him, but the reason why he does it is he says basically that I guess when Arslan kind of took over the throne, that it was that he was like turning against the king for doing so or something like that. And it's like, well, what? He was the prince.
We
and
thought you
were
was
captured.
dead.
What did you expect? So it's like just some bull that he claimed, and then he was like, well, your mission now is to go get 50,000 men for an army.
Yeah.
Which is basically just an impossible task, and he's in essence exiling him for
Right.
no apparent reason.
And they make it very clear that it's basically impossible because the looks on Arslan's face and all of his advisors, all of his, dabu men. This anime is, can we just call it what it is?
I don't know if it is what you think it is.
It's basically Akatsuki no Yona, but double reverse.
A double reverse Akatsuki
It's a
no
double
Yona?
reverse harem, but yaoi-ized.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I see what you're saying. So in Akatsuki no Yona, it was like this girl, and she had a group of guys that helped her out, and they were all like just cute guys.
The premise is really similar. I mean, I'm not an expert on either show,
Yeah.
but like in Akatsuki no Yona, her kingdom gets taken, and she flees and spends the whole show gathering up like these pretty boys that can fight for her and help her take her kingdom back. Right?
Okay.
And Arslan Senki, his kingdom gets taken, he flees and
gathers
finds
up a
all
bunch
these pretty boys that can help him take his kingdom back. It's the same, except Arslan's a guy.
That's an interesting point. I would
It's
say
very
it's also
similar.
better written, and there's,
Well, I mean, we're not going to.
and it just so happens that the boys are pretty. It's not like there's no love interest between Arslan and any of them.
I think the number one ship in this is Daryun and Arslan.
You think so?
Oh my God.
Arslan's a kid, though. I would think.
Is he? First of all, this is like ancient times. Kids are different, has a different meaning.
Okay.
He's old enough to like be fighting wars and killing people and being the king. So he's old enough to
Right.
have a little man hunk on the side.
Oh, well. All right. I guess that's something. Anyways, where were we?
Yes.
So the show takes place. Arslan is exiled, and his homies go after him because initially when they had asked the king, they were like, well, let us go with him because it's, we were part of this whole thing and we're his guards or whatever. And the king's like, no, Arslan's going by himself. So he like takes off on a horse just all alone, wandering into the night. And then Daryun and all the rest of his homies like break out and
They're
take
like,
off
oh,
after him.
Arslan,
Oh,
love
God.
you.
What's wrong with you?
Daryun's like, Arslan, I would never leave your side. I love you. Let's snuggle.
Let's snuggle.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
It's happening.
I don't know.
It's in progress.
Maybe. But anyways.
There's no maybe about it, but okay.
So they all kind of follow after him, and the rest of the show is basically Arslan wanting to be king of the pirates. Is that right?
He wants to become Luffy.
Yeah, basically. That's literally what it is.
They go to this town that has pirates in it, and they help solve some problems and get a shitload of troops.
Right.
Was it exactly? Do they get the amount they need?
No, they have nowhere near the amount they need. That's part of the problem. At the end, when they decide to go somewhere to fight someone.
The real problem should be how to feed those people.
I think they kind of discuss that. Like
They do, but do they have a solution?
I don't think so.
Because I mean,
well, he took over that whole city. So there's your solution. He's like, the city's mine now, son.
maybe he'll. Yeah, I guess.
One thing I will say about the show is, a lot of what happens is super convenient, which is understandable because it's a show and you want to push the story on. But it's like, Arslan can't lose. Like, he never loses anything.
He's like Lelouch.
Right.
He comes up with these perfect plans that never fail.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
And even if they did, they have Daryun, who's basically Lu Bu from Dynasty Warriors, and nobody can beat him.
Right. No, that's a great point. I mean,
he would just send Daryun into an army of like 50,000 enemy soldiers, and he would kill all of them.
of course. Or he would be like, oh, I knew. Well, he didn't know, but the other dude, his strategy guy, I forgot his name, other pretty boy.
Yeah.
He's like, I knew that they would do this, so I had this person do this way over here, and that's going to affect them here. And it's like, how did you know all this? But
It's Narcissus, by the way, his name.
right. So there's your ship right there. Daryun and Narcissus.
No, I think it's Narcissus and the girl.
No.
But the girl wants him so badly.
Yeah, but he's not interested in her. You know who he's interested in? His boy servant. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but the whole concept of like relationshipping is like, it's not necessarily that they want each other. The viewer wants them to be together, right? So it's Alfred, the one girl, and Narcissus.
I guess.
Which I like. I like Alfred, but I think
know.
you and I both think that the best is Give.
Give is awesome.
He's the shit.
He's so cool.
He's a friggin' badass, man. He takes on the masked sword guy and
Yeah,
like
Zex
five.
Marquise or whatever his
Yeah,
name
he takes on Zex Marquise and like
That's not his
five.
real name.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think he would be able to hold his own against that guy because he
No.
was in the last season. Wasn't the swordsman guy basically unbeatable?
For sure.
So,
well, I mean, I think he's just trying to like survive and escape. So he's like, very crafty when it comes to that. But I don't know if it was like one-on-one battle. You two are fighting to the death. He's not going to win that. But he's crafty enough to be able to get what he wants and get away.
Yeah, but he gets the sword from the guy and
Yeah,
takes out a couple soldiers and escapes.
for sure. No, he's awesome.
It's pretty badass.
And he gets all the girls.
Of course he does. he plays a lute
It's true.
or a mandolin or whatever that instrument's called that he's got.
Oh, I don't know.
He's like a bard,
Yeah, he is.
a thief bard.
So anyways, where were we?
Super convenient things happening.
Yeah. So I really like the show just because of its uniqueness, and it's cool to see the world and the world building and all that. But yeah, it's super convenient that like nothing, like quote unquote bad things happen to Arslan, but it all always turns out fine in the end. It's super shonen in that way, where it's like no one's gonna die that you care about.
Right.
And
It's true.
Everything's going to be totally fine, and he's going to get what he needs, and he's going to win the day. So
This anime needs a little bit of Fire Emblem injected into it, which if you're not familiar with Fire Emblem, it's like a strategy game, but when your characters die in like a battle, they're dead. Like,
Yeah.
This show needs to have a little badassness into it.
It needs some weight. It needs, it needs something to worry about. Like, because at this point, you have to think, well, I mean, what's the point? And I don't want to shit on the show because I really like the show, and it's just a thing that shows do all the time. It's like, exactly how it's going to end. Like, I have a friend who hates superhero movies because he knows how they're all going to end. He's like, he's going to beat the bad guy, and then that's it.
Right.
Every single time. There's never a situation where he loses. So, I don't know. I can see how that could be frustrating. But that being said, it is still a fun show to watch. Like, I'll watch... And there's another problem is that I would love to watch more of the show.
Yeah, what the hell?
But they only came out with 8 episodes.
Yeah, what the hell is that about?
I have no idea.
It's really short.
Yeah.
I thought it was a mistake on Crunchyroll when I was watching this.
Yeah.
I was like, what? 8 episodes? What?
It doesn't make any sense. Because, like, the first season was 24, 25 episodes, something like that. And then there's like, oh, here's 8. I'm like, that's it? So,
If they haven't killed any of Arslan's dudes yet, They're never killing him.
Somebody's got to die.
Are you sure?
No.
Because, I mean, they've been against some pretty bad odds in the show already, and no one has died.
You know they can kill.
Who's that?
What's her name? That lady.
The big-breasted hot chick?
The one who serves no purpose.
The most useless character in the whole show that's only
her
there
job
to be...
is to literally just stand there and look attractive.
Her name's Farhan Geese.
Right. She's super attractive.
Insanely hot, but
doesn't do anything.
Is the show a little misogynistic? You're looking at... Yeah, it is.
Come on, Ritzy.
It's pretty misogynistic.
What?
You know what I love is how in the opening video, they have all the characters are in the opening video, but when they get to her, it passes
100%.
right under her like crotch.
Of course.
It's like, okay, we're not even trying to hide that.
That was like, was it Captain Earth? Which is the lowest rated show I've ever watched. Like, I rated that show lower than anything else on my anime list. But it's a show we reviewed, and they ended up getting like these outfits, and it's like two guys and two girls, or three guys, or something like that. And it's like showing the guys as, you know, it's doing that superhero shot where they get suited up, and it's like, check out their suits. And like you see the guy, and it's like his head, and then you know, like it's all like headshots of the dudes, and then just like boobs and butt of the girl. Every time.
Yeah. They're not trying to hide it. They're not ashamed. But I mean, there's only really one female character, and
there's a couple.
Well, to
be fair, the other female characters aren't really exploited that way.
There's like one other.
There's two others. There's
the little temple knight girl.
Yeah.
She's not even in the show.
She's in
like 5
episodes.
minutes. But like as far as the major characters go, there's two girls.
Right.
There's Alfred, who's more of a dude, more of a boy anyway.
Yeah.
And then Big Tits Farron Geese, who has no role really.
Big Tits McGee.
That's what she is. She's Big Tits Farron Geese.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's all she's there for.
Exactly. And her ridiculous stomach.
To be fair though, I feel like they don't exploit her as much as they could or should. I feel like if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna go all the way. Like have bouncing boobs and, you know, short skirts and all this, you know, have a bathhouse scene. Like go for it.
Yeah.
Like they just have her standing there in the background being hot. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, Sung C in the chat says Alfred is a girl. Of course, yes, she's a girl. Exactly my point. So yeah, the show, there's not much urgency in it. It's very convenient.
And it definitely feels rushed. Like at the very last episode, they make a decision to go into a certain battle, which is like this is the least spoiler thing ever because it's like they go to a lot of battles. So to say that they are going off to battle is like, yeah, they do that every episode. So they make a decision to go to a specific battle in the final episode, and it seems like totally rushed because it's like, all right, I mean, you barely began your journey, your mission, and now it's like we're rushing to the end. I don't know. It just feels rushed.
I wonder if there will be more of this.
There's got to be. I mean, it's left so open-ended.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. They haven't come close to resolving the story.
No.
What I can say is I would like to see more of the badass king guy.
Okay, yeah.
Cuz he is kind of a badass. I mean, a lot of the characters in the show are kind of tough. They're tough dudes, right?
Yeah.
But the king, Arslan's father, is a true badass.
He's brutal.
I mean, he's a badass. He's like, you're bound and tied up. I will kick your ass out of the back of a moving wagon.
Yeah.
In front of other horses type
He's
badass.
ruthless.
I kind of want to see him kick some ass because he injects, like the show is very, like boys romping around fighting battles. You know, I want to see some badass guy whoop some ass.
For sure. And I think that's coming in the next season if we get it.
Well, yeah, because he's not going to want to give up his throne.
No.
Even if Arslan comes back with 50,000 soldiers, he's not going to give that throne up.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Well, and to be fair, and this is getting into mild spoilers, but Arslan didn't really want the throne to begin with.
Right.
He just wanted to be put back in his place of prince or whatever he was. But because the king sends him out on this journey, Arslan, and this is, again, a spoiler, but as much of a, I mean, there's nothing that you don't see coming in this show. But yeah, in the final episode, he's decided to go against the king. And he briefly mentions it. He's, that they're riding into battle and they're going to have to take back the throne from his own father.
Well, if he has 50,000 men,
yeah,
I don't know what his father is going to really do about it.
But he doesn't. They do talk about that they haven't gotten enough men.
But will they?
I don't know. We'll see.
Because if they don't have enough men, if they're never going to get the 50,000 men, then why did we even bother wasting 5 episodes going and looking for the 50,000 men?
So they could get some men, I guess.
I guess.
I don't know.
But I feel like the king has no men.
He's got all of Arslan's men aside from his generals.
But are they going to follow Arslan or are they going to follow the king? Because all of the people that mattered followed Arslan.
Well, to be fair, Arslan only got his 5 guys. That's it. He built the rest of his army on the road. So the king has all of Arslan's army.
But we know from experience that Daryun and Narcissus and Give can kill 10,000 men by themselves.
Well, all right. Something like that.
God, I'm just being silly now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was disappointed. It was too short. Not enough happened.
Yeah.
A lot of the events that happened weren't interesting enough.
I'm happy to see some Arslan because I did so enjoy the first season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was disappointing because it's this is all we're getting and it's so incomplete. And I mean, I don't know. Otherwise, it was fine. As far as the animation was good. They did that stuff with the CG again that they always do when they have big battles.
The terrible looking horses and soldiers
the same
that all look
guy copy pasted 1,000 times.
Yeah. Yep.
So they did that, which is to be expected. I mean, they've only got so much money to work with. But other than that, I enjoyed the music, although they only had a couple of tracks. But it was a good song.
Yes, but they play the same one 100 every episode.
I know. They only had 2 songs, but they were good songs. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was disappointing, but it's still a decent show. I mean, I would say, without scoring it, I would say it's above average, and I'm definitely looking forward to more. If they come out with another season, I'm 100% going to watch it. I just wish that, they had done more with this one. It just felt so, I don't know, not satisfying.
Well, what kind of a score would you give this? What is your second season score for Arslan?
So what did we give the first season?
I don't know. I gave it I think it probably got a 4.5, probably. I think we really enjoyed it. I can look it up. I'll look it up while you're thinking about it.
Okay. So, just without knowing what the score of the first season was, I mean, I would say with just solely looking at the second season, my inclination is to give it probably I'm in between 2 numbers. I'll tell you, I'm in between a 3.5 and a 4.
Okay.
So
we gave the first one.
Maybe judging on what we gave the first one, I'll decide.
I don't know. I still
which
don't
way
know
to go.
Got it. I still don't know.
You still don't know?
Sorry.
You messed up. Let me see if actually, you know what? I could probably just go into my anime list and see what I scored it personally.
I know that I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I know that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I did the same thing. So, God, it's tough. I'm gonna give Arslan Senki season 2 3.5 out of 5. Honestly, if I could give it a 3.75, I would, but yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it probably about a 3.5 also.
Yeah.
3 seems too harsh, but 4 is kind of getting into that.
Right.
This is a high quality show range, and I just don't think this show is there.
Right.
I feel like they didn't do enough. It was almost like something bad happened when they were producing the season, and they were like, well, we were going to have 6 more episodes, but we can't do it.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it was, but it definitely feels like they just cut it off arbitrarily. I would recommend that everyone see the first season because that was a lot of fun and that was really good. So if you haven't already, definitely go back and watch Arslan Senki season 1.
Yeah.
And then if you feel so inclined afterward, well, I feel like once you watch season 1, you'll want to watch these 8 episodes just because you enjoy the characters so much. So, but I certainly wouldn't jump on with this. That's for sure. That would be silly.